Well, good afternoon all. This is a nostalgia trip for me, grumpy old git here, and I've come to the suburb of Didsbury, which is about 4 miles outside Manchester, and it has a place in my heart because Didsbury, oh crikey, in 1987, when I returned back to the UK, this is where I lived for about a year and a half. So I'm going to have a look now. I'm going down a place called School Lane to see the old house that I used to share. So let's get on with it. The town's up that away from the metro station, and we'll swing round, and I can't remember now, I don't think that was there when I lived here, but this is School Lane. So let's go and have a look, shall we, and see if we can see the old abode. As they used to say in Latin class, Didsbury est divise in tres partes. There's 3 parts to Didsbury, and that is Didsbury Village that we're in at the moment. Also there's West Didsbury, which is a little bit of a bijou sort of restaurant-y place, and East Didsbury, where the English Lawn Tennis Association is headquartered. And all those many decades ago, in the 1930s, late 1930s actually, just before the war, my late mother was quite a tennis aficionado and used to play there, and people used to think, oh, what's a girl from Salford doing going over to East Didsbury, don't you know? And she had quite a good tennis record herself. I inherited a little bit of it in as much as I had a monstrous serve, but didn't like the running around bit at all. Didn't interest me. And there she blows. That's the house. And just up there, that was my room. How exciting is that? Right, let's head down to the main village and see how much it's changed. We head to the village, just to mention that some of the well-known or the self-celebrate type of people who hail or have lived in Didsbury include Tony Wilson and Richard Madeley and Junie Finnegan. Yes, can't beat a bit of Richard and Judy, as they say. Tina O'Brien, she from, I think, Coronation Street, isn't it? And then you have Mick Hucknall, spent a while here. He's from Simply Red. Vinnie Riley from the Duritty column. If you've ever been to a Duritty column, you'll probably see them on Greek islands. Only joking, I haven't a clue. And sorry about that. And then the likes of Mitzi Cunliffe. Now, what is a Mitzi Cunliffe? Well, Mitzi Cunliffe, back in 1955, she had a studio here, and she designed the BAFTA award that's given out to all the lovies. I can't talk because I went to the BAFTAs in 2001, and it was very exciting, but that's a different question. I was invited because I was working for a company that did big advertising in the Radio Times, and it was sponsored, and it was in a major hotel in London. Great event, loved it. Great fun, mixing with the famous, yes, Buzz Aldrin was there, and Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, he was there as well, and bumped into loads of people. And Richard Wilson, I don't believe it, he was there as well too. And there's also celebrity chef Simon Rimmer has a connection here in Didsbury, and the cricketer Andrew Freddie Flintoff. Right, enough of that. Let's have a look at the town. 100 eaters all fit in this SUV. Haven't a clue what that means. Anyway, Eastern Revive over there on the right, and here in the front, Pioneer. I don't think they existed when I lived here. In fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Yes, that's very rack and ruiny in a place like Didsbury. Oh, sorry, pardon my ignorance. It's Picnic, not Pioneer. And then there's a place called Hispy over there. It seems that unless you have a strange name, you might not be allowed to open a premises in Didsbury. And here we are at the main crossroads. To the right, we go all the way back down to Withington, and to the left, we head off to the M60, Stockport, and all the rest of it. Not that I'm going in both of those directions myself. Oh boy, there's a Gaudi, not as in the architectural man from Barcelona, Irish pub. And then over there, look, Cheese Hamlet. That was there when I lived here. Nice to see a business still going some, whatever it is, 40 years later. Brilliant. Oh, cruelty-free hair. As you know, cruelty-free of hair. Not that I frequented it when I was here, but a traditional pub, still seeing out the time. And then we've got the Salmon of Knowledge. Oh, Oh, I wonder are they related to Charlie Veitch's car ramming peace barriers, as he describes them. Ah, Head of Steam. That must be a place where I should go as a grumpy old git when I'm giving off steam. And I remember the station, another Irish pub, and then I can see Domino's, bus going past, and Domos Italia. And a monument to Dr. Milson Rhodes, complete with rather modern lock. And the time, surprisingly, is correct. Lovely blue sky, eh? Aren't you jealous? And then we come across the standard little memorial area that most towns have. This one's dedicated to the Second World War people, as you can see. And it's a garden of contemplation here. So I've not an awful lot to contemplate at the moment, but it's very pleasant. You can sit down, have a drink, have a vape, because you can't smoke in public. Oh, it's nice to see an English flag attempting to fly. Sorry, Union Jack attempting to fly. And this is the DIDSBURY Civic Society and their building. Lovely old architectural masterpiece. Also home to the DIDSBURY Library. Oh, and look, blue plates, not one, but two. 1644, Prince Rupert and his royalist army encamped on the battle to Marston Moor. That's a song by The Move, if I remember rightly, a Roy Wood one. Oh, and Sir William Brereton of Handford Hall. He also mustered at the Barlow Moor rendezvous. Gosh, spring's only just arrived and all the cherry blossoms are unblossoming all over the ground. Nice florist I see over yonder. And all little independent shops, which is nice. Well, apart from Ladbrokes. The gambling den. And as you can see, a mere 3.5 miles from Stockport. Or the Push, hair chopping shop. And Levant, the elixir of coexistence, whatever the heck that means. Oh look, a real butcher shop. Well, how lovely. We're going to, oh my God, no, I can't go in there and wander and get anything, because by the time I get back, I'll be smelling like a meat shop. A gone-off meat shop in this heat. And just around the corner from the butcher's a real fish shop. Isn't that wonderful? And a proper fruit shop. And beside that, an actual photography centre. Oh, this is all good stuff, isn't it? They seem to be obsessed with Levant here, don't they? And stuck here on the main drag is this rather fine specimen. It seems to be quite old, so I'm assuming it's perhaps Victorian. And I do like that little detail. It's there. Ah, you can tell you're in Sarth, Manchester. Extremely ugly car. I don't know why people buy those instead of purchasing some nice little executive saloon. So here we are wandering along the main drag here in DIDSBURY. And it's very pleasant. Made all the more pleasant, of course, by the nice weather. Ah, the Royal Oak. Yes, even 40 years ago, one of my neighbours, who they used to call Liquid Len, I don't actually know his name, but he spent most of his time and benefits, in those days you used to get cash into your hand, there, rather than looking for a job. So nothing much changed in 40 years. Oh, Beatty, a Palestinian kitchen, and it's to let. Well, in a place like DIDSBURY, what do you expect if you come up with Narnian names for your cooking? Olio, they're all over the place. And then we're coming up on the famous Crown. I bet you've never heard of that place before. Famous Crown, get it? Oh, never mind, please yourselves. Oh, just off the main road, an interesting little development of houses. Another little contemplatory area that is complemented by lovely red bins. Oh, and Viceroy Court. Now I remember that because I had a friend who lived in there. They were quite bijou apartments in their day. Remember, that was 40 years ago, so Things have changed dramatically. And again, some nice houses. Yes, Viceroy Court, very nice kept gardens and landscaping as we wander past on the way to one of the multiple parks in the Didsbury area. Gives you an idea to the extent of hard-working people who live in Didsbury. Nice Porsche, and then a musky car outside. And around here, oh look at this, this is very nice. I don't remember this place now, to be quite honest with you. Strictly no parking. Well, no point in having casually no parking. Yes, the old splendour of times past, and we're back on the main road. Yes, Didsbury in this particular area, it's famed for its open green spaces, as they call them nowadays, rather than parks and parkettes. And we're just going to disappear now into one of them and have a look and see if it's changed much, because I used to come here, certainly if I wasn't particularly doing anything on a Sunday, drop down with a neighbour, have a walk and have a sit round and watch as their grandchildren played football and exercise the dogs and all that sort of stuff. You know, the usual things you do in parks. And this is it, Didsbury Park. Surprisingly called Didsbury Park because, well, yes, surprisingly, it's located in Didsbury. Friends of Didsbury Park, King's Award for Volunteer Services. And oh, you've got to be careful. Take extreme care when visiting the park during snowy and icy conditions. Oh, we've got an owl there. To wit, to woo, do we owe this honour? And this is the rather pleasant entrance to Didsbury Park. Didsbury itself is quite accessible. I mean, it's got the tram that comes through the Metro link. And I think the 42 and 142, the 42 buses, they're the most frequent in Manchester. I think they are anyway. I'm not too sure if the 83 to Oldham is. No, I think the 42 to this particular haven of niceness is more regular every few minutes. But of course, it's on the Manchester University run on the way up. That's on the Wilmslow Road that if you drive, that's the way you come in. I know it's out of place because I was talking about transport links before, but if you want to go up to the cinema complex and the very large Tesco, the actual train, the mainline train, well, Northern Line train stops there. I forgot about that. Bless you, my love. Totally forgot about that. Loads of lovely coloured flowery things coming into bloom now that spring is here. And this interesting thing here looks actually like a rosemary bush on close inspection, but no, rosemary bushes don't have. Let's have a little rosemary bush test, shall we? 1 second. No, just put a bit up to my nasal cavity and no smells. And there's a bit of white stonage. Not too sure what that is signifying. And then to the main park. Just popping in to be in picture. You can possibly see the... Hello! You can possibly see the wonderful... In fact, I'll stop doing it that way. All the tulips coming into bloom. Oh, look at this for a riot of colour. Oh, this is lovely. All different colours, I would say under the sun, but then of course we are out under the sun. All part of Didsbury in bloom, which is understandable. And there we are, the main part of the park. We're at Didsbury Pavilion, a little cafe, very sensible. People have a spot of tea and coffee. I don't remember that being here when I lived here, but the sports ground you can see in the background. And just a lovely green open space. It's like anywhere else, it's a green open space. If anybody lives in this area, you want to volunteer, there you go. Volunteer at didsburygoodneighbours.org.uk. Go on, do something for the community. And round the corner you can see it's quite expansive. Just very pleasant. And the bowling green is still there. It's a crown bowling one because it's got a curvature, which means that when you chuck the big balls at the little ball, it can roll off. Yes, that's where all those years ago I was introduced to crown bowling. Hadn't a clue what was going on, but it just seemed a case of you get the big ball and you chuck it at the small ball, and you don't do that sweeping stuff because that's on the ice, but you just chuck it. And it was a lovely day out. Used to enjoy it. It was great fun. I did have my own set of balls. Can I say that? Yeah, that's all right. I did have my own set of balls, but they went long ago on eBay, with the postage costing more than I got for them all those years ago. Oh, another little area. But I think the social influencers will be very upset with that, saying no dogs are allowed in this area. Not that I'm saying social influencers are anyway canine. They just act like it at times. And there we go, exiting the park out of the other gate. Very nice sort of suburb with all the stuff fluttering down in the wind. It's quite windy. And there's some nice houses. I bet they cost a few pence to put on a mortgage. But then, oops, just wait for that car to go past. But then I did spy in the park not too many people of working age, all people of my age or younger, or older, should I say. Well, round about the same age, so I'm in the middle here. And plainly all the working age people are out working, so they can afford their fancy houses, which is fair enough. You work hard, instead of claiming PIP when you haven't got a disability, and you get your just rewards. Oh, Atmos International. First Right. Sounds like a political party of lunatics. But it seems to be located, I don't know if it's just located in the church, or the church has been, oh, I see the lights in the main window just there. So I think it has been converted. And, oh, well, at least it's maintained the integrity of the church. Yes, it's rather, isn't it, depressing to read. I'm sure you've all read it, that the overall benefits, I'm not saying it's people who are disabled or out of work, but the overall whole benefit system, which includes the you might say non-official visitors, is now higher than the amount of tax that the government takes in. And you do wonder how much longer they can actually, cope with that. Yes, this is on the main road, so I get the impression the church has been converted into Atmos International. And a very nice setting for the Barlow Medical Centre, as well as the Beaver Road Primary School. Very nice too. Oh, St James's Park. This looks very nice. Sir John Bland. I think he should have changed his surname to Sir John Interesting. Oh, it's very nice. Not too sure what it is. That's called Chapel House. It's got its own little lodge at the entrance. Very resplendent. This impressive building in the grounds is called Sandhurst House. I presume Sandhurst House behind me was some form of stately home at some stage, or some official building. My own fault for not doing a little bit of research before I decided to impetuously come to Didsbury at 10 a.m. this morning. And that's the way out of Didsbury, off up to Stockport. And this is the famous, now this one is famous, the Fletcher Moss Gardens. We'll go in and have a quick mosey again. Not been here for close on 40 years, nor unauthorised vehicles. I am not a vehicular type of person. This seems to be the new marketing hip-in phrase. Play your way. Like eat your way and do this your way. I mean, well, I wouldn't want to play anybody else's way. If I can't play my way, which is pretty awful, well, then, stuff it. I don't want to play here. Not that I'm going to play anyway. Too much like hard work. Yes, I'm not too sure the Lawn Tennis Association would think that is particularly appropriate attire to play tennis with. But still, at least they're out getting a bit of exercise. Oh, I would like to meet him on a dark night. Good evening, sir. There seems to be something interesting going on here. Loads of people. I won't make any comment to my right. They've just gone past. I'll behave myself. Oh, that poor so-and-so looks like Roger Waters. Poor man. Oh, I wonder what's going on here. Plenty of dogs. There must be a dog walking thing. Everybody having tea and coffees and things. Oh, that's nice. Or as Mrs. Brown would say, that's nice. Oh, a nice view from on up high. I don't remember this at all, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. Yes, as I said before, mainly people of a senior disposition. The only problem with the hill down means that it's a hill back up again. But let's go and have a little shufti, shall we? Oh, it's a bulb area. How enlightening. Lightning, light, bulb. Oh, never mind, please yourselves. There's certainly plenty of seating for old buggers like me who wear out very easily. Oh, I'm being looked at. I'm being looked at by a mutley here. As I've said before, my problem is I've got canine constipation and I can't pass a dog. So I'll switch off and get chatting to the dog. Oh, it's a well-being pocket park. I'm just checking. Once worth checking my pockets. Let's have a look. No, my pockets are well-being all right. Thank you very much. Another area for seating. That's just lovely. Oh, more downhilling, which means more uphilling on the way back. As I mentioned on my wanders in my previous video around the township of Farnworth when I was rattling off and getting angry about conspiracy theorists, it's great to see that these park spaces are, within 2 seconds of the main town centre. It's fabulous. There's no excuse not to get out and take your kids, take your dog, take the granny. You can always leave it behind afterwards, less expense. Oh, forgot to show off my t-shirt of the day, which is where someone just laughed as they went past. Hope you can read it all. Yes, my own fault for getting laughed at whenever I wear a shirt like that. Nobody else but myself to blame. Seems to be some sort of floody type thing where having a clean-up, which is just, oh gosh. Something happened there, did it? Gosh. It's that time of year when it's...
just cleaning up after that time of year.
Yeah, oh gosh, it never... Yeah, absolutely. It's a lovely park. Not been to it for, I hate to say, 40 years. Well, that was a very nice gentleman who's taking a day off from Network Railing, whom he works for, to volunteer in the community. Go on, do it yourself. I mean, I do it for the homeless, so get out there and do some. Right, let's get back to the main video. The opposite side to where those good people were volunteering. I seem to remember this. I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I think this was here all those years ago. I certainly remember there being a little area like this, but I can't put it down precisely as to if it was here or not that I'm thinking of. And there we go. Right, that's enough Fletcher Moss Park. We'll leave it at that. Lovely area. Nice to see it again. I just don't recognise all that much in it. Oh goodness. Hill ahead, going upwards, which is the disbenefit of coming down the hill in the first place. Well, these tennis courts seem to have seen better days. Sorry about the blooming in the front. It's the wire. Well, all nicely protecting nothing. The fine old house in the background, we'll have a look at that in a moment. Ah, it's where all the volunteers store their stuff. Oh, the croft. That bit's private. Say no more. Oh, and there is a proper, I don't know if you can see them or not, they're on proper bulb area because the bulbs are on. I don't know if you can see them or not. You can probably see them flashing. There we are, just stop, let you see it flashing. Can't beat a quick flash. Just resting the old plates of meat for a moment. Can I introduce you to my friend here sitting beside me? Yeah, hasn't got much to say for himself really. He seems to be some sort of rhinostry gorilla or something similar. Well, the improprietously dressed tennis player seems to be tenaciously still at it after my 20 minutes wandering around. Good on you, girl, go for it. And as we leave Fletcher Moss Park, I certainly remember these houses of respite. The DIDSBURY, that was here all those years ago. And right beside the DIDSBURY, Ye Old Cock Inn, I think that was the name of it. And as for the Wild Alderman, I'm not too sure. Or they've given it that awful name, Eatery. Huh. Ah, and just behind the DIDSBURY, we've stumbled across the parish of St. James Emmanuel Church. I presume from the flag flying, it's the parish church. More very nice, well-kept church grounds. Ah, the clock is wrong. 2 hours slow. Unless it's one of those clocks that's just right twice a day. I can hear the dulcet tones of organ practice inside, but the doors are locked and I don't want to start looking up. that Paul McCartney track. Someone's knocking at the door, somebody's ringing the bell, because they might think it's the lottery man calling. Oh. Ah, the old parsonage gardens. Oh, we have a rat problem. Well, then you shouldn't let the Green Party in electioneering. You've only got yourselves to blame. This looks a very, very... Oh, look at this. Again, plenty of seating. Plainly appealing to the local, more senior populace and people like me who need to sit down every 3 seconds. Oh, Dad seems to get a larger memorial on the bench than poor Mum. And we'll go up the steps to another garden. The upper garden of the lower garden of the Parsonage Old Gardens. Very nice too. Plenty of seating again, as mentioned. Oh, and there's a nice little cafe house off the beaten track in the park. Lovely. I don't know who this is here though. I think I'll steer clear of that. A little bit too phallic for me. They've got a fair history board here, but I won't bore you to death by reading out what it's all about. As you can see, it's just a fair, nice open area. And again, the Union Jack flying away merrily. That really is a very impressive cafeteria. And as we pass the old Cock Inn, I don't think I'd like to blow up those balloons. Is it just one giant balloonery thing? Oh, lunch club, that's pretty good. Oh, that's good value, isn't it? And the Philip Goodley Lodge as we passed back into the town centre from the park. Oh, very impressive. Each to their own, and they didn't harm me in the least in any way, but I was quite surprised at the number of totally fully face and head covered people who were wandering around. I wouldn't have thought Didsbury was well known for that, but as I say, each to their own. They did me no harm whatsoever. Another one of my little irritations, there's been a lot of, I suppose, I'd say young ladies in their 20s and young mothers not much older than that, and the number of them that use the word like. I mean, I've never heard anything like it. Could you imagine if you swapped the word like and everybody said similar, which change it around and say, well, I've similar, going into similar, Didsbury similar, and I'm going to similar lunch similar. It's just, oh dear. I'll stop anyway, I'm getting too grumpy now. Well, on the way back into Didsbury, an interesting looking mansion thing. I'll try and see if I can find out what it is, but it's just, I just find it interesting architecturally, to be quite honest. A nice mixture of bricks, ordinary, I suppose you might say house bricks and sandstone. At least I presume that's correct. I stand to be corrected, or as I'm doing now, hobbling to be corrected. It's called Lawnhurst. And not only Lawnhurst, but Ziggy lives here as well. Oh, very impressive. Replete with Rapunzeloid balcony. Oh, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And some nice dwellings opposite. It's rather ironic that, well, this is 822 Winslow Road. Any of you familiar with Manchester will of course know that Winslow Road is the famous or infamous, whichever way you look at it, Curry Mile, with I think it's around 100 restaurants there now. Admittedly, a lot of them are just simply takeaways, not like it used to be many years ago. Flexible business interiors. I presume they must be all made from rubber. And there we are, we're heading back into central Didsbury again. Oh, it's also the home of Conquer Communications. I wonder, are they all nuts? Sorry. Beware conspiracy theorists. CCTV is in operation in this area. You're being watched. Hello? Anybody watching me? Into the sun. Sorry if anybody. No, nobody's watching me. The Limes, it's called. Very nice too. Well, thank you for indulging in my little reminiscent trip around my old haunting ground of Didsbury. It was just a quick dip in, quick dip out so as we don't bore you to death. And there you have it. Thank you very much. So until next time, look, take care of yourself and be well.